So hello everyone, welcome you all for the post-contest discussion of Codechef Starters contest. So let's start with the discussion. So this is the first problem. The name of the problem is convert string. So let's go through the problem statement. You are given a binary string s of length n. For a positive integer k, you can perform the following operations on string s. Choose k elements from the string s. Perform a total of k flips on the chosen k element. A flip changes a 0 to 1 and vice versa. Note that you can use multiple flips on the same element. That's an important point. You can use multiple flips on the same element. So you need to count of all such k in range 1 to n such that you can apply the operation optimally and make all characters of the string equal. Okay. So let's understand the question via the help of an example. So the question statement is that yeah. So the question statement is that you are given a string s. So you are given a string s. Let's suppose s is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay. Now you can choose any k bits and flip those bits. Do you all understand what do we mean by flips? Do you all understand what do we mean by flips? Changing a 0 to a 1 and changing a 1 to a 0 is called a flip. So you can choose any k bits and flip the bits. And by doing so, you want to make all the characters of the string equal. So like for example, if I choose k equals to 2a, so can anyone say me that what will be my optimal operation so that I am able to convert all the characters of the string equal? Will I try to convert a 1 to 0? Will I try to do that? No, right? I will just convert these zeros to 1. So for k equals to 2, I can do something like this, that this 0 gets converted to 1. This 1 remains 1, is it? The 0 gets converted to 1 and then 2 ones and we will get this string. So we can say that, okay, for k equals to 2, it is possible for me to convert this entire string into some characters that are equal. Do everyone agree with me? Everyone on the same page till now? Yeah. So the question is that you need to tell that for how many k's from 1 to n, this thing is possible that you can convert all the characters to equal. Is it clear? Is the question clear? Anyone having doubt with the question? No. So how we can solve this? So there was a very easy observation for this. See, if I tell you that you have a string something like this, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. So number of zeros in this string is 3. Number of ones in this string is 4. Agree? So can anyone say me if I am at, like, let's suppose I say you k equals to 2, will I be able to convert all the characters of the string equal by using k equals to 2? Will I be able to do that? No, right? So can anyone say me the minimum k I require to convert all the characters equal? 3. Do everyone agree with this, that the minimum k required to convert all the characters equal is 3? You can choose these 3 bits, flip these bits, and you will obtain 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the characters equal. So do everyone agree with me that the minimum k that you require is 3? Yeah. So, okay. So can I say that for k equals to 1, answer is not possible. For k equals to 2, answer is not possible. For k equals to 3, the answer is possible. Is the answer possible for k equals to 4? Is answer possible for k equals to 4? Yes. What we will do? We will convert all the ones to 0. We have 4 ones. We will convert all the ones to 0. So, okay, for k equals to 4 also the answer is possible. Great. What for k equals to 5? Is the answer possible for k equals to 5? Okay, so we have the answer no. Do everyone agree with this? But here was a trick for this question. The answer is possible. Because if you just look up to this part of the question, just a minute. If you look up to this part of the question, you can make use multiple flips on the same element. Okay. So what you can do is you can convert these zeros to one in three operations. So it will become one, 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 one. And for the remaining two operations, first of all, you will convert this 1 to 0 and then this 0 to 1. So for two flips, it does not change. So I can say that, okay, for k equals to 5 also, the answer is always possible. Do everyone agree with me in this? For k equals to 5, the answer is possible. What for k equals to 6? Is the answer possible? For k equals to 6? Yes. And which bits we will turn? Bits 1, right? For k equals to 7, is the answer possible? For k equals to 7, is the answer possible? Yes, right? And which bit we will turn? We will turn 0. Now, once you identify this thing, now the question becomes very easy. See, you have this string 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. When I asked you this question, that tell me for k equals to 7, the answer is possible or not. What you did? You had two cases in your mind that either I convert all the zeros to 1 or I convert all the ones to 0. These are the two cases possible. Now, let's move on to the first case when I am converting all the zeros to 1. If I am doing this, so I have three zeros. The number of operations I have to perform is 7. So the number of operations that I will be left out with is 7 minus 3. I will be left out with 4 operations after converting the entire zeros to 1. And the number that I am left out is an even number. This means that if I perform if I am left out with all these ones and k equals to 4, so I can perform these 4 operations on any of the bits and the result will not change. So, okay, if I am converting all the bits to 1, so I can do that with k equals to 7. Can I do it for can I do it with 1 as well? That is converting all the bits to 0. I can't do that because if I choose that, so the number of ones are 4. So the number of operations that I will be left out with is a 3. Once I get all these zeros, the number of operations that I will be left out with is 3. Now performing odd number of operations on any of the bit will change this string and all the characters will not remain equal. So are you all able to figure out that what actually we can do in this question? What we can do is we can store an initial count of zeros. We can store an initial count of ones. Now for every k, you can iterate a loop for k equals to 1 till k less than equals to nk plus plus. For every k, if the number of zeros, like you have a k, if number of zeros is let's suppose x and number of ones is let's suppose y. So if x is greater than equals to k, that is, there are two possible cases. Either you convert all these x or you convert all these y's. So if x is greater than equals to k and k minus x is an even number, so for this particular k, it is possible for me to convert all the characters in the string equal. Similarly, if if y is greater than equals to k and k minus y is an even number, then it is also possible for me to convert the entire string characters equal for this particular k. So you can just iterate over this particular k. If any of these condition is true, then you can simply increment your answer. At the end, you can print your answer. Is the approach clear? Wouldn't be x less than equals to k. Oh, sorry. Yeah, x less than equals to k and y less than equals to k. That is the number of zeros that you have to convert should be less than equals to the number of operations that you are performing. Sorry for that. Is this thing clear? Yeah, sure. So let's jump on to the code. Just a minute. Yeah. So this is the code. So first of all, took input of n, then string s, initialized my count of zeros and count of ones, both of them to 0. So just iterated over the string. If my current character is character 0, so I am incrementing my x, else I am incrementing my y. So x basically stores the frequency of 0 in the frequency of character 0 in the string, and y stores the frequency of character 1 in the string. Now I initialized my answer to 0 and going on to every possible key. So I iterated my I to 1, I less than equals to n, I plus plus. If my I is lesser than x and it is also lesser than y, should I continue from here? The answer is not possible. The number of operations that I am performing should be at least greater than x or greater than y, isn't it? Even if you don't write this line, I have handled this thing in the other line. So you can check over here. If I minus x is greater than equals to 0 and I minus x is an even number, or I minus y is greater than equals to 0 and I minus y is an even number, if any of these conditions is true, I will increment my answer. That is, for this particular operation, it is possible for me to, for this particular k, it is possible for me to convert all the characters equal. So once I do that, so at the end, I am printing my answer. Is this code clear to everyone? Anyone having doubt in this? No. Great. So let's jump on to the second question. So this is the question. N balls are placed at distinct coordinates on the x-axis. The initial coordinate of the ith ball is given as ai, where ai is greater than 0. Okay. A hole is present at the origin. The ith ball moves towards the hole with a speed of bi units per second. If multiple balls collide before reaching the hole, they merge into one ball, taking the maximum speed of the initial balls. So you need to determine the number of balls that will reach the hole, considering all possible collisions along the way. Note that the collisions do not occur at the hole, thus if multiple balls reach the hole at the same time, all are counted separately. So let's understand what actually the question is. Okay. So the question is that you have an origin. So there is a hole at the origin. This is a hole. And this is actually the origin. Okay. Then you have some balls, let's suppose at x1, x2, x3, x4, you have some balls placed. So you have some balls placed over it. Now these balls are moving towards the origin with some velocity. Velocity v1, v2, v3, v4. Okay. Now it may happen. Is it possible? Just tell me, it may happen or not. That x4 and x3 are moving. x3 didn't reach the origin, but x4 collided with x3. Is this possible? Is this possible that x3 didn't reach the origin, but x4 collided with x3? Is this possible or not? First tell me. It is possible, right? Now the question says that if something like this is happening, like let's suppose x3 and x4 collides. So after colliding, they convert into a single ball, and the speed of the single ball will become the speed of the single ball will become the speed of the higher speed one. That is, it will become v4. It will collide only when v4 is greater than v3, right? It will collide only when v4 is greater than v3. Is it possible that it collides when v4 is lesser than or equals to v3? Is it possible? No, right? It will collide only when v4 is greater than v3. So when two balls are colliding, they will convert into a single ball, and the speed of that single ball will be the higher speed of the two balls. Now the question says that how many balls reach the origin? That is when these two balls are converting into a single ball. Now only single ball will reach the origin, not both of the two will reach the origin. Only a single ball will reach. So the question is that how many balls reach the origin? Is the question clear? Anyone having doubt in the question? No. So how we can do this? See. So tell me one thing. You have the number line like this. Let me sort the balls on the basis of their coordinate. Okay. So 0, x1, x2, x3, x4. So I have sorted the balls on the basis of the origin. Over here, the ball have the velocity v1, v2, v3, v4. Let me assume some arbitrary number. Okay. Let me tell you that the ball at position x4 takes 2.4 seconds to reach origin. And ball at x3 takes, let's suppose, 3 seconds to reach origin. And now I ask a simple question to you, that will this balls x4 and x3 collide? Tell me. It will collide, right? It will collide, right? Great. Okay. Now I tell you that x2 takes 2 seconds to reach the origin. X1 takes, let's suppose, 3 seconds to reach the origin. Okay. Now I ask you a simple question. Looking up to this data, just forget about the entire question. Just forget about that you have the coordinate, you have the speed. Just imagine that you only have the time. That is x4, x3, x2, x1 will take 2.5, 3, 2 and 3 time respectively to reach the origin. I give you this data. When I give you this data, can you tell me the number of balls that will reach to origin? Can you tell me that? The number of balls that will reach to origin. Let's see how many balls will reach. Let's see that. So we have a ball over here that takes 2.4 seconds. We have a ball over here that takes 3 seconds. We have a ball over here that takes 2 seconds. We have a ball over here that takes 3 seconds. Can I say that these two balls will collide? Because it is taking 2.5, it is taking 3. So these two balls will definitely collide. So after colliding, can I say that the ball that will be formed, that will actually take 2.4 seconds to reach origin? This point should be clear. If this point is not clear, we can't proceed further with the solution. This point should be clear that when these two balls collide, the formed ball will actually take 2.4 seconds to reach the origin. Is this point clear? When these two balls are colliding, okay? When these two balls are colliding, it will take 2.4 seconds to reach the origin, okay? So after colliding, I told that, okay, it will take 2.4 seconds. Now the next ball is taking 2 seconds. Will this formed ball collide with this ball at any point of time? No, right? Great. So let's move on over here. Now this ball takes 2 seconds. Great. This ball is taking 3 seconds. Can I say now these two balls will collide? After colliding, can I say that the formed ball will actually take 2 seconds to reach the origin from the start? So can I say that you have a ball that takes 2 seconds and you have a ball towards the right that takes 2.4 seconds? So I know that they will never collide. So I can say that two balls will reach the origin. Can I say this? Anyone having doubt in this? So this is a simple implementation of this problem. What you will do is you will simply first of all short the x coordinates. Then from the right hand side, you will keep on calculating the time. If at any point of time, let's suppose you started with 2.4. Okay. Now you got a time of 3 seconds. So what you know is that this ball will not be able to reach the origin. Why? Because in the right hand side, you have a ball that is taking 2.4 seconds. So this ball will not be able to reach the origin. So you will not increment your answer. So your answer is, let's suppose, initially 0 and you initialized your value to some maximum value, let's suppose 1E9. So first of all, you came to this ball. Let me explain it over here. Just a minute. Hmm. So let's suppose this is a number line. This is a ball. This ball is taking 2.4 seconds to reach the origin. And I initialized my answer to 0, the number of balls that will reach the origin to 0, and some previous value to 1E9. I will explain what this value 1E9 is. Okay. So this ball takes 2.4 seconds to reach the origin. So I know that the previous value, that is the speed of the ball towards the right of it, since it was 1e9. So I know that it will never collide with this. It will not collide with this since the time the right ball is taking, since I don't have any ball towards the right. I just assume that the right ball is taking some maximum time, that is 1e9. So I know that these two balls will never collide. So I will simply increment my answer. And my previous value will change to 2.4 seconds. This previous value tells me that how much time the right ball is taking to come to the origin. Okay. Now I came to the second ball. This second ball was taking 3 seconds to reach the origin. Now I saw that, okay, this is taking 3 seconds, but this is taking 2.4 seconds. The previous one is taking 2.4 seconds. So I know that I will never collide. I will collide with this ball. So I will never be able to reach the origin, and my previous will remain 2.4. Do you all understand the significance of this? That the previous will remain 2.4? Because what we told, that when these two balls collide, the formed ball will also take 2.4 seconds to reach the origin, right? Isn't it? So I will not increment my answer over here. I will come to the next ball. It is taking 2 seconds to reach the origin. Now, since this is taking 2 seconds and the previous one was taking 2.4 seconds. Yeah, I will say that, girl. Just a minute. Let me complete this. This ball is taking 2 seconds and the previous one was taking 2.4 seconds. Can I say that these two will never collide? Now, since they will never collide, my answer will change to 2. And for all the balls towards the left, the previous will become now 2. Previous will get updated to 2. Because if it will collide, if any ball over here will collide with any of the balls towards the right. So first of all, it will collide with this. And once it collides with this, so its actual speed changes to the speed of this particular ball, which which help it to reach the origin in 2 seconds. And all the balls towards the right were reaching the origin in 2.4 seconds. So they will never collide with any balls towards the right. If it collides, it will collide only with this particular ball. So my previous will change to 2. Now I come to this particular ball. This particular ball takes 3 seconds to reach the origin, and since my previous is 2, so I know that I will collide with this particular ball. So I will not increment my answer, and my previous will remain as 2. So after traversing of 4 balls, I got my answer as 2, which is my answer. This is actually the logic to this question. Why 2.4 seconds, 1 and 3 will collide? Once a ball with 2.4 seconds collide, and once a ball with 3 seconds collide. So what is the speed of this collided ball? Can you say me? Good. What is the speed of this two balls when it's collide? The speed of this particular ball, right? Max of 2. And so can you say that this particular ball will actually take 2.4 seconds to reach the origin? If I consider from the timestamp of 0, so can I say that it will actually take 2.4 seconds? It will actually follow the path of this particular ball. That is something that I want to tell from here. It will actually follow the path of this particular ball. That's why I am saying that it will take 2.4. Because just imagine that when these two balls are combining, so the higher one remains and this one vanishes. This is something that is happening. Isn't it? Is the logic clear to everyone? Is the logic clear? Anyone having doubt in this, in the logic? So it was a simple thought that, okay, you have a ball, it is taking some time. So when it will collide only when it is taking lesser time to the balls towards its left. So once they collide, what if both are having the same speed? So they will not collide, no? And if the same speed, then it will change to the speed of that particular ball once it is collide. But it will not collide. If you are standing over here, you are standing over here, you are moving at the same speed towards the left. How can you collide? I actually considered long double. What if both are having same time? Uh, both can't have same time actually, because it is mentioned in the question that, okay, if both are having same time, you say that this is taking 2.4 seconds and this is taking 2.4 seconds. This is your doubt. This is also taking 2.4 and this is also taking 2.4. Now tell me by your common sense, will they collide? Will they collide? In 2.4 seconds, this will also reach the hole. In 2.4 seconds, this will reach the hole. So in the question, they have mentioned that if they are colliding at the hole, if they are colliding at the hole, So it will be counted as two different balls. It's mentioned C. Collision does not occur at the hole. So if at the hole they are going at the same time, so they are counted as a two distinct balls and not the same ball. So if multiple balls reach the hole at the same time, all are counted separately. Is it clear? Any other doubt? Should I jump onto the code? Okay, no problem, guys. Does the doubt still exist, Kar? Okay. So see, if you have a ball over here and you have a ball over here, it has some speed. It also has some speed. Now this is, let's suppose, the origin. It is taking 5 seconds to reach the origin, and this is taking 4 seconds to reach the origin. So will not these two balls collide? Tell me, will not these two balls collide? Because it is taking 4 seconds to reach the origin, it is taking 5 seconds. So they will collide now. Yeah, you can think of something like that. But in the question, they have given you the coordinates and they have given you the speed. So if this ball is taking 4 seconds to reach the origin and this ball is taking 5 seconds, so after 4 seconds, where will this ball be? After 4 seconds, this ball will be somewhere over here. And this ball after 4 seconds will be over here. So let me mark it with different color. So this particular ball after 4 seconds will be somewhere over here because it takes 5 seconds to reach the origin. And when I talk of this particular ball, it is originally over here, but after 4 seconds, it will be over here. So when it crosses this number line, so it will collide with this ball at some point of time over here, right? It will collide with this particular ball. So yeah. So let me explain you the code. Hmm, just, okay. So first of all, what I did, I took the input of n and then the coordinates and the corresponding speed, the vectors a and b. Then initialized my previous to 1e9 and constructed a pair because as I told you all that I am going to traverse on the basis of the shorted x coordinate in the reverse order. That isn't it? Like if the balls are placed over here, 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 here. So I am going in this order. So for that I want the shorted x coordinates. So just yeah. So I constructed a pair and in my pair the first value is the coordinate and the second value is the speed. And I shorted that vector and initialized my answer to 0. So now what I am doing, I am just going in reverse order. What is the time the current ball is taking? How to get the time? Coordinate. Coordinate will become distance because if let's suppose coordinate is 4 and since the destination is at 0, so the distance becomes 4 minus 0, that is 4. So over here the coordinate is actually the distance the ball needs to travel. So my speed, the time will be speed, distance divided by speed. If this time is lesser than equals to what the previous ball is taking, in that case, I will increment my answer and my previous will become correct. Once I am done with this, I will simply print my answer. So that's the simple code for this question. Is it clear? Yeah. Yeah, they did not mention any decimal value, but since I am taking time over here, so I took it by my own. That's not an issue, isn't it? Yeah, was also thinking of something like stack. It seems something like stack, isn't it? But once I was able to figure out this logic that, okay, one is taking 2.4, other is taking 3. Let's see what I thought of. I thought of this example that one is taking 2.4, one is taking 3. So I know that these two will to collide. But if there is a ball over here then that is taking 2 seconds, so these collided ball will never collide with this ball. Because this collided ball will actually follow the path of this ball, which is taking 2.4 seconds, and this is taking 2 seconds. So it is never possible that it will collide. So from there, the logic of this lesser than equal. Is it clear? Any other doubt? Okay, so let's jump on to the third question. So this wasn't actually a comparatively, I would say, an easy question. Okay, so let's go to the question problem statement. A sequence X is defined as x1 equals to 0, x2 equals to a, x3 equals to b, and xi as xi minus 1, xi plus xi minus 2 minus xi minus 3 for all I greater than 3. So given an integer k, you need to find the kth smallest element of the sequence x. If I simply elaborate this, first of all, let me tell you the question. The question is that you have to construct a sequence x, and x is something like this. The first number is 0, second is a, third is b, and any third number is written as xi equals to xi minus 1 plus xi minus 2 minus xi minus 3. This is how sequence is constructed. So the question says that you are given a number k, you need to find the kth smallest number in the sequence. Do you all understand what do we mean by kth smallest number? If you have a sequence, let's suppose 0, 4, 6, 2, 9, 3. Can anyone say me what is the third smallest number in this? What is the third smallest number in this? 3, right? The third smallest number is 3. So this is the question that you want the kth smallest number, and this is how the numbers of the sequence are generated. Is the question clear to everyone? Yeah. So let's do what they have told. If you do that, I am sure that you will get to what how we can solve this question. See, the first number is 0. Okay. Second is A, third is B. What will be the third number in terms of A and B? What will be the third number? Just keep this in mind. Xi is xi minus 1 plus xi minus 2 minus xi minus 3. This is xi. So do everyone agree with me that the third number will be A plus B? What will be the fourth number? Or sorry, this is the fourth number. What will be the fifth number? What will be the number of ahead? A plus B minus A. It will be 2B if I am not wrong. You need to add the previous two numbers and subtract the third number, right? It will be 2B, right? You will add A plus B and B, and you will subtract this A, xi minus 1 plus xi minus 2 minus xi minus 3. 2B, yes? What will be the sixth number? What will be this number? A plus 2B. Great. What will be this number? Three. Great. What will be the next number? A plus 3. What will be the next number? Don't calculate. Are you all able to observe the pattern? 4B. Can I say A plus 5B? 6B. Oh, sorry, 5B. A plus 6B. 6B. Are you all able to obtain this pattern? How the pattern is? You have A plus 0B, A plus 1B, A plus 2B, A plus 3B, A plus 4B. These numbers in the sequence. You have numbers B, 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B in the sequence, and you have a 0. Can I say that this is how the sequence is found? Can I say this? Is everyone on the same page till now? Because the question is done. Only 20% path is left and rest is done. Okay. Now if I ask you a simple question. Now I ask you a simple question that if I give you a number mid, can you say me, can you say me that how many numbers, the question is, how many numbers lesser than or equal to mid are present in this sequence? How will you tell this? Tell me. If I ask you that if I give you any number mid and tell you that how many numbers lesser than equals to mid are present in this sequence, how you will be able to answer this? By looking at this pattern. By looking at this pattern. Just observe. If from mid, if my mid minus a is greater than 0, if my mid minus a is greater than 0 or greater than equals to 0, so can I say that the numbers of these types will be mid minus a by b plus 1? Just observe. If I say you that mid minus a is greater than equals to 0, so numbers of these type will nothing be mid minus a by b plus 1. Let me take an example. The example is that a is, let's suppose, 20 and b is, let's suppose, 30, and I give you a number 40. So how many numbers of a plus NB type will exist? It will be nothing but 40 minus 20 by 30 plus 1, which is equals to 1. And just observe, you have numbers 20, you have numbers 20 plus 30, which is 50, you have numbers 20 plus 60, which is 80, and so on. So the numbers lesser than equals to 40 were only one of A plus NB types. So can I say that the number of numbers of A plus NB type that are lesser than equals to mid is, if is 0, if mid minus a is lesser than 0, that is, let's suppose if the value of mid I gave you, in this case, the value of mid that I gave you was 10. Number, instead of 40, I would have given you 10. So how many numbers of those type would have exist? The numbers are what? Numbers are A plus B, A plus 2B, something like this. So I know that since my mid is lesser than A, so no numbers of these types will exist. So only if mid minus a is greater than equals to 0, I can say that the number of numbers of these type that exist is mid minus a by b plus 1. Is this thing clear to everyone? Yes. Similarly, can I say the number of numbers of these type that will exist? How can I say this? Number of numbers of these type that will exist that is lesser than equals to mid. Can I say that they are nothing but mid by b? No, not mid minus b. It will be mid by b. The numbers are b, 2b, 3b, 4b. So number of numbers of these type that will exist that are lesser than equals to mid is mid by b. And you have an extra 0. So can I say the number of numbers that are lesser than equals to mid, if I say this is temp 1, if I say this is temp 2, so number of numbers that are lesser than equals to mid are nothing but temp 1 plus temp 2 plus 1. Can I say this? So can I say that if I simply apply binary search on answer, why I am able to apply binary search on answer? If I tell you number of numbers that are lesser than equals to 40 and the number of numbers that are lesser than equals to 50. So can I always say that the number of numbers lesser than equals to 40 will always be lesser than equals to the number of numbers that are lesser than equals to 50? Can I say this? If I can say this, so can I say that the last number where I get that the number of numbers lesser than equals to mid is equals to k, or it is greater than equals to k, the last number I get that, so that last number will actually be my kth smallest number. Can I say that the last number where I get that the number of numbers lesser than equals to this mid is actually greater than equals to k, the last number that I get, that will be my kth smallest number? Can I say this? Yes. So that is how you can solve this question. Anyone having doubt in the logic? No? Great. So let's jump on to the code. So this was actually the code. Took inputs of A, B, and K. Handle these case separately, that if the value of K is 1, I am simply printing 0. Okay. If someone tells me the first smallest number, I'm printing 0. Otherwise, I want to simply binary search on answer. So did my starting index to 1, ending index to 1e18, initialized my answer to -1, and I decremented by k. Why I'm decrementing by k? Because I'm assuming that okay, I have a 0. So I will not count 0 while I am counting the number of numbers lesser than equals to mid. For that reason, I simply decremented my k by my k by 1. So now a simple binary search code. While starting index less than equals to ending index, found out mid, initialized my temp 1 to 0, and if my mid minus a is greater than equals to 0, so the number of numbers of that type, a plus nb type, how much it will be? It will be mid minus a by b plus 1. Similarly, the number of numbers of nb type like b, 2b, 3b, 4b of that type, that will be mid by b. So if temp1 plus temp2 is greater than equals to k, in that case, just changing my answer to mid and ending index to mid minus 1. Else, I am changing my starting index to mid plus 1. At the end, I know that my answer variable contains the answer. So just printing the answer. Tell me, any doubt in the code? It was an easy one, right? If you understand this pattern, if you just write down this pattern in your pen and paper, if you write down this pattern, so this gives you a sense of then binary search because given a number, you can find out how many numbers of this type will exist and how many numbers of this type will exist. So the last number that satisfies that the number of numbers till that particular point is greater than equals to k will be my kth smallest number. So that is actually the logic. So is it clear? Should I move on to the next question? Yeah. Okay. So this is the next question. So the name of the problem is shooting. It's an easy version and it's actually a very easy question. Let me explain why. So let's go through the problem statement. This is an easy version of the problem. The only difference between this and the hard version is the constraint of n notably. In this version, you are given that the value of n is 1. Okay. So Archie and Crypto were competing in a shooting game. You are given a matrix A of size n cross m representing a shooting board. So for this version, you are given that the value of n is 1. So you can assume you are given a 1D vector only. Okay. Because the number of rows are 1. So you can assume that you are given a 1D vector. The cells of the matrix contain information about which player took a shot at which cell. So if A of I of j is 0, this means that no player took a shot at that cell. If A of I of j is 1, this means that Archie took a shot at that cell. If A of I of j is 2, this means Crypto took a shot at that cell. And if it is 3, then both players took the shot at that cell. Now they have called a function bullseye cell. Now this is a function for coordinate x1, y1. For a shot at cell x2, y2, the score of the shot is actually max of x1 minus x2 mod, max of y1 minus y2 mod. So the score of the player is the sum of scores of all shots by the player. So your task is to consider each cell in the matrix as the bullseye cell and find a value of RC score minus crypto scores absolute value accordingly. Okay. So let's understand the question. Just a minute. Yeah. So the question is that you are given a 1D vector. Okay, I am not taking 2D vector because they have mentioned that in an n cross m grid, the value of n is 1. So it's a waste if you take 2D vector. So I am just taking a 1D vector. Okay. And this is a vector constructor. And let's take some values 0, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. We took these values. Now what does 2 means? 2 means crypto shot at that particular cell. 1 means Archie's shot. And 3 means both of them. And 0 means none of them. Now what is the question? Question is that you have to assume all of these cells as the bullseye. Okay. Let me assume this particular cell as the bullseye. Let me assume this particular cell as the bullseye. Now how the score is calculated? Let me calculate Archie's scores first. Let me calculate Archie's So how the score is calculated? Score is calculated by max of, if let's suppose this is bullseye, this is x1 comma y1, and you can take any of the cells of RC sort. So let's suppose I took this cell, it is x2 comma y2. So score is actually max of x1 minus x2 mod, comma, mod of y1 minus y2. Now, the easy part of this question is that y1 minus y2 will always be 0. Do everyone agree with me in this? Y1 minus y2 will always be 0. If this is the case, can I say that my score is nothing but equals to mod of x1 minus x2? Can I say this is my score? So now, if I assume this cell as the bull's eye, can someone say me what will be Arshi's score? Can someone say me Arshi's score? What will be Arshi's score? These were the cells that Arshi hit. This cell, this cell, this cell, this cell. That either the value is 3 or the value is 1. Because for 1, Arshi shot, and for 3, both of them shot at that particular cell. So if the values are 1 and 3, so that are the cells that Arshi has shot. So if I am assuming this as the bullseye, so from this particular cell, the distance is 2. From this particular cell, the distance is 1. From this particular cell, the distance is 2. And from this particular cell, is the distance is 1. So can I say this Archie score with assuming this particular cell as the bullseye is actually 6? Can I say this? Do anyone have doubt in this? Kindly tell me. Do anyone have doubt in this? How I am getting this score 6 for Archie? No. Similarly, can I find if this is Archie's score? Okay. Similarly, can I find crypto score assuming this as the bullseye shell? So no, you will not use 0 and 3. We will use 2 and 3. 2 means crypto short, 0 means no one has shot. So we are going to use 2 and 3. So this cell, this cell, this cell, and this cell. So for this particular cell, the distance is 3. For this particular cell, it is 1. For this particular cell, it is 1 again. And for this particular cell, it is 2. So can I say that crypto score is nothing but 7? Do anyone have doubt in this? So can I say that assuming this as the bull's eye shell, my score is modulo of 6 minus 7, that is equals to 1. So the question demands that assuming every cell as the bull's eye cell, tell me the answer. This is actually the demand of the question. Is the question clear to everyone? Yeah. So there is one approach that you can brute force over the solution, but that will then definitely produce TLE, right? Because for every bullseye cell, the complexity is n. And if you continue to do so for each and every cell as the bullseye, cross n, which is n square, and which will definitely not pass the given constraints, right? So we can't brute force over the solution. But what we can do? See an interesting thing over there. See an interesting thing. Let me take the same example, 0, 2, 1, 3. 0, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Tell me the score of Archie and crypto at this particular cell. Tell me fast. Score of R me maintain a variable, score of RP and score of crypto. Tell me score of RP at this particular point. Sorry, it's not RP, it's Arshi. Let's not get with the name. It's Arshi, but okay. Tell me the score of this A at this particular cell. Tell me. For A, the hit cells are 1 and the values with 1 and 3. And for K, the hit cells are the values with 2 and 3. Okay. Now tell me the score of A. assuming this as the bullseye cell. Okay. Okay, we have answer as 22. Anyone else? So let's calculate it. For A, the score will be, for this particular cell, the distance is 2. For this particular cell, the distance is 3. For this particular cell, the distance is 4. And for this particular cell, the distance is 6. And for this particular cell, the distance is 7. How much this turns out to be? 2 plus 3, 5 plus 4, 9 plus 6, 15 plus 7, 22. Yeah. So you wrote correct. It's 22, isn't it? Anyone having confusion in this? The score of Arshi assuming this as the bullseye cell. Similarly, score of crypto, it will be 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6. What it will be? 15, right? So it will be 22. Let me keep this. Okay. Do anyone have doubt in this? How we obtained score of Archie and crypto? No? No. So, assuming this as the bull's eye cell, you can say that, okay, the answer is 22 minus 15, which is equals to 7. Now, the next cell that you will assume as the bull's eye is this particular cell. So you will not calculate the answer again. Let me tell you how you can update this answer 22 and 15. Let me update this answer 22. Okay. Now tell me one thing. For all the cells, when you shift your bull's eye cell over here, can I say that for all the cells that RT was having towards the right, for all of them, the distance will decrease by 1? Can I say this? For all the cells towards the right, the distance will decrease by 1. Do everyone agree? So what I can do is I can keep a count that how many cells towards the right exist to which RT can hit, that RT has hit. So the cells towards the right that RT has hit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can say that my score A will be nothing but 22 minus 5, which will be 17. But it is not completed yet. It will also be added by all the cells, because for all the cells towards the left, can I say the distance will increase by 1? If I am moving my bull's eye cell towards the right, so I can say that for all the cells towards the right, the distance will decrease by 1, and for all the cells towards the left, the distance will increase by 1. So I can see that over here no cells towards the left exist. So I can say that RT's answer will be 17. Similarly, for crypto, how many cells towards the right of this particular cell exist that crypto can hit? It is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cells. So your 15 will decrement by 4. And how many cells towards the left exist that crypto has it? That is 0 cells. So you will not add anything, and crypto's answer will update to 11. So just if you have this thing that how many cells towards the right and how many cells towards the left exist that Archie is hitting and crypto is hitting. So you can update this answer in nothing but big of 1 time. And you can simply iterate over these bullseye one after the another and print the answer for each and every coordinate. This is actually the logic to this question. Now, how you can keep a track of that thing, that how many towards the left and how many towards the right exist? It's a simple prefix sum. So let me construct a prefix sum for this. 0, 2, 1, 3. 0, 2, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. You don't need suffix. See. So what I will do, I will maintain one prefix sum for A and one prefix sum for K. So the values for A are 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So if I take a prefix sum, it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So this is actually a prefix sum for A. Similarly, you can construct a prefix sum for K as well. Now for A, if you are at this particular index, so how can I count that how many cells towards the right are there? So can I do a simple 5 minus 0? Can I do that? For obtaining the number of cells towards the right, can I do a simple 5 minus 0? Similarly, the number of cells towards the left will be nothing but this value only. Because if your bullseye turns over here, so number of cells towards the left of this will be nothing but this value, this prefix sum value. So what you will do, if you have, let's suppose, code as A, so from your A, you will simply add A plus equal, let's suppose this vector is small a. So you will simply add A of I if you are currently at index I. And from A, you will simply subtract A of M minus 1. This is total of M rows. M columns actually, you were given M columns, right? So the size of this vector will be M. So A of M minus A. And by doing this, you will simply update the score of partial. And in the same manner, by maintaining the prefix sum for crypto, you can update the score of crypto as well. So this is something that will happen in big of one time, isn't it? Is the logic clear? Is the logic clear? So let me jump on to the code. So what I did, I took the inputs of n and m, though in the back of my mind, I know that this value of n is 1. But since in the question they told to take the input, so took the input and then constructed only a 1D vector of size m. Okay, and took the inputs because I know that I only have a single row. Then constructed two prefix vector, one for A, that is RP, and one for crypto. Okay, and the size of these vectors will be M. Okay, now what will be A of 0? A of 0 will be 1 if either V of 0 is 1 or 3. Similarly, B of 0 will be 1 if either V of 0 is 2 or 3. Okay, now what I did, I simply iterated over I equals to 1 till less than Mi plus plus. What will be A of I? A of I will be nothing but A of I minus 1 plus either if B of I is 1 or 3. Similarly, B of I will be B of I minus 1 plus 1 if B of I is either 2 or B of I is either 3. So this is how I constructed a prefix sum vector. Do anyone have doubt till line 84 that how I am constructing a prefix sum vector? No? Once it is clear, so what I did, I constructed a sum1 and sum2 that is both initialized to 0. And for this particular cell as the bullseye, I found sum1 and sum2 by iterating over the loop. So I will just find out for a cell, only for the first cell iteratively. Okay. And for all the other cells, I will update something like this because we have done this thing. For the first cell, we were founding out this 22 and 50. And from all the other cells, we were simply updating in big of one time. So for the first cell, I took Archie's score as sum1 and crypto score as sum2. Just iterated over all the cells from 1 to m. If v of I is 1 or 3, so I know that my index value will only get added, right? So sum1 gets added by I. And if v of I is 2 or 3, sum2 gets added by I. Okay, so now in my sum1 variable has Archie's score, sum2 variable has crypto score. Once I have that, so I just iterated over all the index. So first of all, printed the absolute value of sum1 and sum2, absolute difference of sum1 and sum2. Then how my variables will change. See, sum1 will get added by A of I and will get subtracted by A of M minus 1 minus A of I. Similarly, sum2 will get added by B of I and get subtracted by B of M minus 1 minus B of I. If my I equals to M minus 1, this means I have printed for all the cells, so I am simply breaking from it. Okay. And at the end, I can simply print endl. That is a new line. And this is the complete code for this question. Is the code clear to everyone? Is the code clear? Yeah. So that's all from today's contest. Thank you for joining.